this morning. Like,
I could fall in love with you, oh, right here, right now. Would it be the one, the moon? Well, I feel somehow that I will fall in love with you. Yes, I will. Right here, right You and I, we're trouble inside. Beating hearts don't lie. An empty page, a story to write. I'm in love, you're divine, and it's all in our signs. We're going away. Get your bag, check the tag. Decision is made. Lock your door, need no more. It's already paid. Cancel your mail for a while. It's a journey for life, and I'm your ride. Hang on.
We all live on time we borrow, time our children to us lend. Here today, but gone tomorrow, like a spark flying in the wind. We all look up to our fathers, all our lives if all is right, and we all need our mothers when the day is dark as night, and the drums of war are getting louder, a sound you never heard before. Gonna come to your town, gonna find your corner, and we'll soon be knocking on your door. Someone pulls an easy trigger, puts another to the ground in disbelief, staring at his fingers through which his blood runs with his life. And the drums of war are getting louder, a sound you never heard before. Gonna come to your town, gonna find your corner, and we'll soon be knocking on your door. The signs are there, right in front of us, for so long buried in the snow. Yes, here we are, shining diamonds, burning bridges as we go. And the drums of war are getting louder, a sound you never heard before. Gonna come to your town, gonna find your corner, and we'll soon be knocking on your door. Gonna come to your town, gonna
Our head judge is Eva Best from New Zealand, and Eva's at the moment we can see, let's just have a look. I think they said there's relatively about 50 horses to get through, so this is a big class. We'll probably see about maybe 3 or 4 heats. So our judge Eva Best has the tough task of narrowing down this particular field to bringing us a top 10. So good luck to Eva in that. Very strong field of show hunter hacks. So our other judges are Robin Pearce from Victoria and Gregory Goss from South Africa. So this class has got a little bit of a overseas feel to it this afternoon. As you can see, a lot of these horses are out here at the moment. They've just been asked to canter. And the horse on screen looks like Dickavali Royal Rory that you're watching at the moment in terms of our live stream, if you are seeing exactly what I'm seeing, which is on the big screen. So Kathy Emmett and Rob Gaylard are up in the main commentary out here. So I've been lucky enough to have been dressed up by Karen Fisher in terms of winning some of the prizes. So our top 10 competitors will receive what I'm wearing, which is a cap and a vest. So our winner for our Providence Cup final will receive a garland, an inscribed trophy rug, an RASV sash, a trophy jacket. Our runner-up also receives a cotton trophy rug, a sash, and all our participants receive a wonderful gift bag, saddlecloth, polo, cap, vest, and inscribed headstall. Again, all supported by Karen Fisher. First to 10th also receives a Pride's Easy Feed voucher. So we're narrowing down this event quite quickly. So let's sit back and go on a journey with our second heat out here. I think the beauty about our live stream is the opportunity for me to be able to go and speak to some of our judges. And this is the bonus about live stream, is it has no bearing or effect. Eva Best is obviously out in the middle taking place as our head judge out here, but we might get the opportunity to speak to our other 2 judges to ask them, so that whilst you're sitting at home and watching Eva do the hard work, we get the opportunity to speak to them in relation to their type of horse, what they'll be looking for this particular class. Obviously, we bring these 2 judges in for the workout. So Robin Pearce will be the first of the judges of whom I'm going to speak to out here. Robin, it's a big class that you've nominated for Eva to try and decipher down to a top 10.
Yes, I'm glad she's got that first part of the job.
You get to do the easy work and watch the workout.
Yeah, absolutely.
Tell us a little bit about our show hunter hacks here. What is it that you will be looking for when you look into the workout? What's your type of horse?
What I really like is I like a horse that really travels and covers the ground, quite bold and, something that looks really confident out there.
I think that's probably from a judge's perspective and what I say to a lot of people on the live stream. When it comes to watching our competitors here for our show hunters, we almost are wanting to envisage being galloping across the fields, don't we? So when we ask for a hand gallop, you're one of those judges that really like to see a hand gallop?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I really like some power and like to see the horse be able to go up and down in the gears and then come back and just be able to just travel along as if he hasn't done that.
Well, this is what we're after. This is why we get the chance to speak to our judges. And the other gentleman that's behind me, he's sipping a cup of tea. Come on out here, Gregory. You didn't get away with that. Gregory Goss from South Africa. Great to have you here joining us here in Melbourne.
Lovely to be here.
I love that accent.
Do you?
I could talk to you all day.
Oh, good. No, it's a real pleasure, and this show is outstanding. So far, what I've seen, standard exceptionally high, and fabulous riders, really good riders.
It's a very difficult task to win at a Royal Show level, especially, as you say, here in Australia, the competition is fierce. So, for our Melbourne show, we have horses travel down from Queensland, from South Australia, from New South Wales. They come from everywhere for here.
I believe so. I mean, that's unbelievable that they travel so far. I don't think we would in South Africa.
Well, they say have saddle, will travel, and that's what these competitors are doing. Getting to the class that you're about to see and judge, what is your type of show hunter horse? What will you be looking for?
Funny enough, in South Africa, I specialize in hunters. So a solid type horse with decent conformation, good bone, but it must travel, it must go forward, cover ground, and be elegant all at the same time.
Robin mentioned to us just before she likes a bold horse, a horse that really covers the ground. So, for example, the workout does have a hand gallop in it. Will you be looking for a horse to cover ground?
A ground covering horse with confidence and going forward.
Well, there you go, straight from the judges' mouths. They're not looking for a hand gallop that's going to be an easy one. They're not looking for anybody they want to see the difference in transitions. They want to see these horses going forward out here. This is what our hunters do. We ask them to travel across the fields. So this looks as though it might be the third heat that we are about to witness out here on our ground. So we're getting quite a nice little... Actually, this might even be our last heat, whilst I've been speaking to the judges. Good luck to those competitors who are out there at the moment. And as both judges said, especially Gregory, coming from South Africa, he has said that the quality here in Australia is outstanding, and he specialises in hunters, so he's really looking forward to this. Stuart has just called for trot. So our judge now has called for canter. And as we've been seeing, she's been eliminating them relatively quickly. She knows the type that she's looking for. And in a moment or two's time, once she's finished narrowing down our top 10, I'll endeavour to ask her about what it is that she is looking for. There's a round of applause for a few of the competitors that are being called in. A lot that are getting thrown out. It's a big class. Disappointing, really. You go to all this effort to get ready, but it's the cream of the crop. And as we say, it's only one judge's opinion on that day. One day you might be a winner. The next day, not so lucky. There have been some beautiful horses leaving the arena here. But in saying that, there is an exceptional lineup of horses that our judge Eva has deciphered down. So here we go. We are bringing these horses back out onto the circle again to make sure that we have a top 10. So there's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. I think 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. No, there's more than 10. So we need to go back out on the circle. Plenty of people in the grandstand watching this particular class. It does generate a lot of interest. And Karen Fisher does a lovely job in her support and sponsorship of this event. That being the Providence Cup. So as our competitors try and utilise this big arena, they've been given the arena as a whole, so they've got quite a big space to make sure that they can sort themselves out. And this will be interesting to see whom she calls in the order in which she sees it. So the majority of these horses will be going into the lineup, but maybe just a couple will be unfortunately getting thrown out. So it looks as though something's our riders are just organising themselves. And as we say, we had to narrow down to a top 10, so our judge has unfortunately had to throw one out. So the very first of our horses to work out, I'll gather myself into a position where I'm not going to be run over by any of our equestrians. And I'll do my best to get the numbers to you all and the horses in which you are going to watch work out. So let me run you through the workout just quickly. Our Providence Cup workout for 2018 is enter at the trot and turn right at the centre. Middle short side, turn down the centre line at a trot. Then working trot and track right. So this is how it's presented to them. In the corner, commence canter. Canter along the long side, working canter. Change rein on the diagonal, optional change. So you can either change flying, through the walk or through the trot. Working canter left rein. Along the long side, commence hand gallop. Return to working canter after halfway along the short side. Return to working trot. Trot along the long side. Working trot short side. Halfway short side walk, exit arena. Well, that sounds confusing to most people, but these riders will know what they're doing. I'm sure in a moment or two's time we'll see the very first of our horses work. So each of these riders know the workout. They've been given the workout. 1375 will be the first of our horses to compete. Di Cavalli Royal Rory, owned and ridden by Abby Lovell. So here we go. Let's sit back and watch these horses. So I might actually manoeuvre myself down the other end so I don't upset our stewards and I'm out of the way of everything. Not that they'd yell at me, but this is a beautiful type of hunter that we are looking work out at the moment. He's been very successful at shows around the country. So just into the canter aspect of the workout now. Looks a very smooth type of hunter. And our arena here is set up a lot like a dressage arena where it probably looks to be about just over 20 metres wide. And we're looking forward to the hand gallop now, and remembering what our judges have said, they were really looking for that hand gallop. In which case Abby's doing that on this bloke. She's stretching across the ground. Now we're looking through for the transitions back. As smooth as possible that our rider and horse can make it look. And as Robert had mentioned, this is important for her in terms of scoring points, is that she wants to make sure that these horses come out of a gallop and go back into the walk and be as relaxed as ever, and this bloke is really demonstrating that. That was a lovely workout, and as I can see, Robin is scoring that. That's what she was after. Okay, this next horse out, again, he's been a very successful horse. So this will be Rippleton, France. Number 792, owned by Alana Richards, ridden by Alana and Ali Berrick. Now, I was speaking to Alana in Adelaide about this particular horse. He's had quite a journey to be brought back into the show world. At one point in time, they nearly lost this particular horse. He was very, very ill in terms of, I think he had some stomach issues. And of course, she was very emotional too when he did so successfully over in Adelaide show, because as she said, she goes, at one point in time, she never thought she'd have him. So she's really appreciative as she laughs at the crowd there, because we got himself a little unbalanced coming back through the transition. So now coming back down through the transitions. As the crowd give a round of applause, the next horse out will be Power Play, nominated by J&R Christian, owned by Tildy Longbottom, ridden by Jess Stones, number 785. Another horse, again, who's had a huge amount of success in the show ring is Power Play. Beautiful looking type of horse. Very smooth and almost offers a very comfortable ride for Jess out there as we go on a little bit of a journey with these two as they make their way around our Herald Sun Arena. In a moment or two's time, we'll offer the simple change. Now, remembering with our simple change, we can do that anyway according to the workout. We can offer a flying change, we can do it through the trot, or we can even, if we like to, bring our horses back to the walk for that change. Jess has opted for a simple trotting change. Now, what we see down here is not often what people see up in the grandstand, but being at the judges' level, you can see those little tricks of the trade. In fact, I watched Jess before give her horse a little bit of a pat on the neck in the midst of the workout. So just stretching out on the longer sides, making sure that Power Play really stretches out, but again, just taking her time on the corners. Bit of smart riding there. As we come back down through the trot. As we said, this is what Robin is looking for. This is what Robin is scoring points on. The ease going down through the transitions. Back to a walk where these riders will give them a long length of rein and walking off beautifully. Now, unfortunately, I missed the number of our next horse out, but I'm sure at some point in time, probably when they come straight at me, I'll manoeuvre myself to be able to gather a number. I'm thinking I know who the horse is, but just to double check, one wants to be sure. One, 2, 8, 2 is the combination of Warrawee Diamond Tea, nominated by Elizabeth Krogh. Our judge, Gregory Goss, said he's looking for a really big, strong type of hunter, one that can carry a rider all day. He really likes the size of these particular hunters in terms of their bone. He likes to see their presence. In fact, I might nearly manoeuvre myself over to the opposite side of the arena. I'll just stand still whilst this horse is coming towards me, just in case he gets a fright, so that I can see these numbers better of the competitors that are coming in and competing out here. And everybody offering their congratulations for the next of our horses. Now I think this is 936, the combination of Heavenly Park First Night for Donna White. But just once more, we'll make sure as this horse comes towards me that that is indeed the number. So it is 936. Sometimes, unfortunately for me, I bring down so much information ringside as I can at times get cluttered up with who's who. But 936, Heavenly Park First Night is a horse you are currently watching on screen, coming down through the transitions back to the walk before we complete our workout here in front of our three judges. So obviously in the rules of any of these particular events, at no time are our judges in any way, shape and form allowed to communicate with each other. So how we're working here with our scoring is, if we like the horse as our first, that we, allocate 1 point for first, 2 points for second, 3 points for third, and so forth. So that is the scoring of how the judges will work this particular class. So ideally, you're looking to have a score of 3. This will be Quantador. Andrea Mary's nomination, 1634. Owned by Andrea as well. So again, this is another type of hunter hack that I could really see myself sitting on all day long. He looks like a beautiful, comfortable ride. In fact, maybe I should ask Andrea a little bit later if she'll give him to me. What do you, don't like my chances, huh? So Andrea's opted to change through a trot. She just had a quick glance across at herself on the big screen to make sure she was doing everything right. It's quite funny. I know at the races when I was riding, sometimes if I was out in front, I'd have a glance across at the big screen to make sure that I was in front and there was no danger. But it's interesting to see that our riders out here are also checking the frame of their horses and their riding to make sure it's all correct. So just completing the workout now, offering a lovely big trot. So the next of our horses to enter will be D'Artagnan. Number 895 for Stephanie O'Connor, owned by Tess O'Connor. We might get a chance to speak to few of our riders, some that have competed and already finished their workouts. After this, there's still another 3 more horses to work out. Well, Abby, you went out first and you sort of set the benchmark for everybody else to chase.
Yeah, it's a beautiful class with lots of quality. So it'll be good to see what the result is in the end.
It's always a difficult class to win because, you know, there's obviously just the one winner out here and we have a runner-up as well. But aside from that, there's no thirds down to 4th, 5th, 6th, but we all get a prize pack at the end of the day. Being called out either first or second would mean a lot.
Oh, definitely. I think it's one of those awards. And as well as having such great sponsors for the prize packs and that sort of thing as well. So we're all very lucky to be out here and it would be amazing to be the winner.
Well, I can tell you that I'm actually dressed by our sponsors. So this is what you will all look like. At one point in time, you will look like me in these clothes. We're all going to look exactly the same. Okay, offering the gallop of this workout now, really starting to stretch forward. Hi, Lana. I had to have a little bit of a laugh at you before because he got himself a bit unbalanced when he came out of his gallop and you just laughed at yourself and thought, well, there's not much I can do about it now.
No, definitely not. It was probably my fault anyway, so I just laughed at us both. I was like, we're done, France.
It was really interesting. It was just, and this is the beauty about being down here and I get to talk to the competitors about that because as soon as France did that, you just saw the emotion go, oh dear, we buggered it up. But you know what? You never know. And look, that's the thing about these particular classes. The judges know the type of horse that they're looking for. And as far as quality is concerned, it's not over until the fat lady sings, as they say.
No, definitely not. I think he's really high quality and so he's a true hunter. So hopefully they like him.
Well, we were speaking about his journey prior to backing into the show ring. He's had a tough one, but it's great to see him back out here. As I will gather the number of our next competitor. $9.05 is the combination that we're currently watching. It's Bella Rossa, nominated by Scott and Rachel Wessel. Well, Donna White's nomination, 936. Heavenly Park first night. How do you think he went out there?
Oh, I was happy with him actually, yeah. No, he's nice and relaxed and gave me a good ride.
I know our judges are looking for a horse that really covers the ground, nice and relaxed and does all the above and is really obedient in coming down through the transitions. Looks a smooth ride, this boy.
What was that, sorry?
The horse looks a smooth ride.
Oh, yeah, no, yeah, he's good, he's nice. Lovely horse to be on, yeah, thank you.
Well, congratulations in making the top 10. Well, Andrea and Quantador, it was a little bit funny, Andrea. I was watching you out there before, and I don't know whether you consciously knew you did it or whether I just picked up on it, but you had a little glance at the big screen TV there at one stage and thought, oh, well, we're out here. May as well have a look at ourselves.
Well, it's the first time for me in the Providence Cup, so it's always been a big dream. And my 12-year-old daughter told me, always check yourself out, make sure you look all right. So I follow her directions.
Well, you did check yourself out. You had a really good look at the big screen. Make sure, and I said that, making sure you're keeping in your frame. So your 12-year-old daughter will be happy. Will she be watching the live stream or is she here?
Oh, she is here, but she'll be sitting back on her pony's back, I'd say, watching the live stream. That's what she normally does. She'll be proud of me.
She'll be proud of you. Hello, Quantador, you nice big boy, you. Okay, the next of our horses out here. Let's have a look across as we float through the centre of the arena. Wow, what a coat this horse has on him. Doesn't he look brilliant? The beautiful dapples. 1986. This will be Federer, owned by Rebecca Crane. And And gee, he's got a lovely coat. I don't think I could have, if you were an owner of this particular boy, you'd be really happy with his coat. He's just dappled almost to perfection. In fact, one of our sponsors is Pride's Easy Feeds, and I'd be a little bit curious to see what she feeds this bloke to get that amazing coat. I'm sure it'll be a lot of time spent under lights, showing off his education here as we offer a flying change through the centre. So it looks as though just one more horse to work after this big fellow. Federer again is a very successful horse on the show scene. So we're offering a big, bold trot down in front of our judges before coming down and giving Federer the reins and walking off. So I'm sure that'd score max points with Judge Robin Pearce here from Victoria. 1576 is SLM Valentino, owned by Bryony Lee. How do you see this class at home? What an outstanding lineup of horses. Each and every one of these horses has been champions in their own right, winning at grand national levels, winning at royal shows, winning everywhere. How do you split them? Be very interesting to see in the way of which our judges see this class. Well, Beck, being the fact that one of our sponsors, Pride's Easy Feeds, I'm looking at this bloke's coat as he was working around the arena, and it is sensational. Can I ask what you feed him?
Yeah, he actually does get Pride's feeds. He gets Easy Results and Biomare Cubes.
There you go. Now, that was a plug for our sponsors. That was a question without notice. You answered that beautifully. He looks a really smooth, comfortable ride, very successful horse out in the show ring, and he offered you pretty much a foot-perfect workout again.
Yeah, he's amazing. I actually haven't ridden him since December last year, so it's been a pretty quick jump on, and I can't thank Universal Stables enough for the work that they've put in with him.
Well, good luck out here in this class. We'll see how you fare. You know, tough class to judge. An exceptional lineup of horses out here.
You'd have to say some of definitely the best lineup of hunters that we've got in the country.
Well, as I was making mention to our live stream, you've got Grand National champions out here. You've got Royal Show champions out here. How do our judges split these ladies? Tough task. Tough task. And again, a really lovely walk, and the crowd are happy with that as well. Well, as I mentioned, I'd hate to be in the position of the judges. I wonder whether or not any of these judges will walk back over and have a look at these horses close up. Well, as you can see, our judges are calculating the points as we wait for SLM Valentino to make his way back into the lineup. While the Lee family are so instrumental with the showing side of things, they offer platting, they ride, they do all sorts of things, but I know this bloke's a bit of a favourite. He's offered you another beautiful workout.
Oh, definitely. It was great.
He's been successful in this class before, and it's probably one of your favourites, would you say?
Yeah, it's definitely a good class.
The lineup of sensational horses. He gives you a lovely ride, and he looks like everything that our hunters are looking for in terms of our judges. They wanted a big, bold, strong workout, and you offered that out there.
Oh, he loves the gallop. Yeah.
Any excuse to have a run around a track is this bloke. Estelle and Valentino. Beautiful horse. Well, you can see our judges and stewards are bringing out our bags. So every single one of these competitors will, at some point in time, receive one of these bags. Oh, you've taken me off the live stream. Well, hello, everybody. So I'm talking to everybody. Well, hello, everybody. It's been my pleasure out there to bring the live stream to everyone sitting at home. And it has been a wonderful opportunity to get back and speak to some of our competitors about their workout. And it's an exceptional lineup of horses that we have out there. And as far as our judges are concerned, they're going to have a really hard time deciphering whom there will be their winner, as I think that pretty much all of these horses offered almost perfect workouts. In fact, it was a little bit funny before. I was having a laugh with a couple of the girls because, you know, especially with Alana Richards with Rippled in France, Alana was saying before that in the workout she just had to laugh at herself for one point in time because there's nothing else that you can do. You've gone out there, you've given it your all, and you sit back and you have a little laugh about all that's going on and enjoy the class for what it is. So our judges will be busy deciphering, so I'm not too sure whether the class has been broken down for everybody sitting back at home, what we're after here. Of course you can.
Now that the event has been paid for, that it is all over, would you like to share with us what, and I know you spoke with the judges earlier on, but I don't think it's our meeting to be able to talk to our crowd now, and also tell them what the judges probably were looking for or what they would like to see.
So our judges, when they spoke to me earlier on the live stream, and of course we can't bring this out to you guys sitting at home because of our judges still have a judging job to do, but in terms of our workout, our judges were looking for a really big, bold workout. They wanted a horse that in a gallop offered a strong gallop. As far as our South African judge goes, Gregory Goss, he was looking for a horse that was really, really strong. The type of hunter that had a really big bone, a really nice type of horse that carried their rider across the ground. Robin Pearce, she was saying that she was really looking for the boldness in the workout, but at the same time, this is a hunter horse. So when she sees this particular class, she was hoping that her hunter horse coming back down through the transitions offered a really, really neat transition. So didn't fight the rider, didn't in any way, shape and form muck up, and coming back down into the walk straight out of that gallop, once the rider handed through the reins at the horse, it stretched down and walked off without any worries at all. So no tenseness in the workout. Didn't unfortunately get to speak to our head judge in Eva, and I guess that now that this competition has pretty much been done and dusted, as our stewards have the points, I don't suppose it would be remiss of me to potentially go over and have a quick chat to our judge. We can try. Well, Eva, we've got you out to the crowd now. You had the tough task. You're our head judge. Been difficult to narrow down to a top 10, but in a sensational lineup of 10 show hunter hacks and or Galloways that we have out here. Take us through the class yourself. What were you looking for as a judge?
Just a nice, big quality type, big, handsome horse, correct, and just covers the ground well and comes back nicely. They have to be nicely educated, well-mannered.
Well, as we say, they need to be well-mannered and really well-educated. When we look for our hunter types, they are to be really kind in temperament, kind in riding, kind in transitions. And our judges, as I mentioned, are covering that. So Pride's Easy Feed, one of our sponsors here, as is Karen. And everybody down here will be dressed almost like I am. So I'm sporting Karen Fisher's clothing that these ladies will get to take home in this beautiful bag. So there's plenty in this bag. Let me tell you, in the bag there is a saddle cloth, a polo vest, a cap, an inscribed headstall, and it's all supported by Karen Fisher. So she's offering some really, really nice prizes to be had. As well as that is Prize Easy Feeds, containing a nice little feed voucher for everybody sitting at home. So when I spoke to Rebecca Crane out here, who's riding Federer. I actually made mention on the live stream about how healthy this particular horse is and his coat and how beautiful he looks out here on the arena in terms of his dapples. And would you believe she actually feeds her horse Pride's easy feeds?
We said the right thing at the right time. Of course, we valued and we're lucky.
Well, I think it's actually funny because when I have a look at the crowd, when I was speaking to them all before in relation to what our judges were looking for, I know that there's a lot of competitors out there who are going, oh, this is wonderful to be able to hear for the first time now that the event is over, what it is and what the horse that we're looking for, what our judges' type is, how they see the class, what they were looking for in terms of their gallops. Yes, you're allowed to. So as you can see, we're having a really good camera shot here of our top 10 lineup. And this, even better. I'll hand it back to you.
Well, Casey, I'm not sure whether you are still on air down there, but the Lee family, the Lee girls, have been to the fore for a long, long, long time. And here we are, we're seeing them rewarded yet again. Second placing, and we only have top three, goes to 1986, Federer, Rebecca Crane from Chandler in Queensland. And our third placing will be awarded to number 785, Power Play, JNR Equestrian, the Oaks in New South Wales. So congratulations to our top three place getters in the Providence Cup. Our top 10, of course, will be receiving a wonderful gift pack there as well too, which will be Bella Rosa, Dickavali Royal Rory, Quantador, Heavenly Park First Night, Warrawee Diamenti, D'Artagnan, Rivelton France, making up our top 10. So congratulations to Bryony and all the team, well done. And to SLM Valentino via Sire Walton out of a dam called Classique, which was foaled back in 2004. To our second and third place getters in Federer, Rebecca Crane, all the way down from Chandler in Queensland. And our third place getter to Power Play. And exhibited here by JNR Equestrian from the Oaks in New South Wales.
Well, we may as well get the opportunity to go and speak through our live stream winner. This bloke, now I'm trying to work out. Now, he's won this class before. When was it? When did he win? Was it last year?
Years ago he won it, and then last year he was runner-up.
So I know he's been very successful, as we said earlier, in the workout. Our judges were looking for a beautiful, big, bold workout, and I think it steals the event for you every year because he offers that, doesn't he?
Yeah, he gave me a beautiful workout. Every single year he does.
Well, congratulations. He wears that lovely garland again. You might have to retire him from this class, but if he's still winning, why not keep doing it?
I don't know, maybe. We might retire.
Well, 3 different judges every year, and you've pulled it off once more. Congratulations to all the Lee team and Bryony out there winning with SLM Valentino. Well, we have to thank Karen Fisher for all of her support throughout our 2018 Royal Melbourne show. And once more, you can see our friends out here all get this beautiful prize pack for the Providence Cup. Well, I guess from a live streams perspective, that'll be goodbye for me for just a moment, because in a second or two, we are going to continue with our Pope Cup. Next out, it's our Open Hacks turn. And at the moment, our Providence Cup is just about to leave the arena, which is open to our Hacks and Galloways, before we welcome out our Open Hacks.
They have got the wrong. You haven't got a first on Brian. No, there. They've told me to go. There it is. It's in there.
for this, we thank Racing Victoria. So all winning retired racehorses in this saddle section are eligible for the Racing Victoria off the track $300 cash bonus. So a lot of these horses, if they've won classes previously, they get a $300 cash bonus from Racing Victoria. So if you have a thoroughbred at home and you are looking to, you know, potentially show it or compete it in other disciplines such as polo, such as jumping, Racing Victoria are now really pushing forward in supporting these horses off the track, which is such a wonderful incentive for everybody sitting back at home, that for a lot of the classes they offer a $300 off the track cash bonus. So this is very much like the last class that everybody saw being judged, where we have our 3 judges. In this particular class, Richard Rice from Western Australia has been nominated our head judge. So Richard has the tough task of deciphering down to our top 10. So he's the one doing all the hard work out here. We're then joined by Grace Forbes and Nicole Jamison from Queensland. So I might now, as this class is being judged, get the opportunity to speak to our judges in relation to what it is that they are looking for in terms of their thoroughbred type, and ask if there are any little extra pieces that they could throw into their workout. Now, I actually don't have a copy of the workout for the Pope Cup, but I'm sure someone will be able to find me one so that I can bring it all to you at home. Okay, Nicole. Where are you, Nicole? Come on out here. It's about what you're looking for in terms of your judging. Nicole's not that keen on it. What about Grace? Our judges are going to keep quiet on this one. They're being mum. Interesting. Fantastic. Wow. Our judge is not offering anything in terms of the type of horse that they are looking for out here for our Pope Cup. So as I move out of the way here, whilst a lot of our horses that have unfortunately not been lucky enough to make it through, so as now we can see what seems to be the last of our heats. As we sit back and go on a little bit of a journey with these competitors. I love watching our open section here, as I love to relive what our racehorses have done, where they've been in terms of prize money, considering this is a track class supported by Racing Victoria. So once we narrow down to our top 10, I'll try and get to everybody as best as I can the information as to whether or not they had a racing career, what their names were, how much prize money they won, if they had won any. So here we are trying to narrow down to a top 10. So remembering when we look at this class, we are just about to bring them all out onto the circle again. That our Pope Cup. So we receive the Colonel Levy Pope Silver Cup and Special Ribbon for the best saddle exhibit over 15 hands, which in the opinion of the judges shows those wonderful thoroughbred qualities. So each exhibit is judged on manners and paces, conformation, soundness and performance. So our judges will have their little scorecard where they will most likely score the same as which we did the Providence Cup, where we will score 1 point for their winner, 1 point for their second, 3 points for their third, and so on. So our show hacks offer outstanding characteristics, which we are watching now, which are grace, elegance, and perfect manners. So quality, of course, is the most important thing that these judges will be looking for. Besides all these attributes, a top-class show hack has that magical characteristic, which is called presence. And the impression of superiority, hard to define, which compels and holds the attention of judges and spectators alike when the horse enters the ring. So as you can see, each and every one of our competitors would have been given the workout. So at one point in time, I might pinch the workout off Lynn, one of our head stewards here. And I'll jump out of the way of our very first competitor into the ring, which I think will be number 407. So number 407 will be Tattinger, nominated by J&R Equestrian, owned by Daffern and Jess and Reese Stones. So we now welcome out our judges. So our stewards have said, are we ready? So the first of our competitors out, as we said, will be Tattinger for J&R Equestrian. So we will have to watch the workout here. As I said, I don't unfortunately have a copy of the workout. So let's go and speak to our steward, Lynn Melbourne, and we can have a quick look at the workout of which they've been given, Lynn. So because I haven't had too much time in going from the Providence Cup to the Pope Cup,
It's the same.
so they tell me that the workout is the same, is it?
It's just got a length and canter instead of a gallop.
So hang on, I'll throw the microphone under you. You can tell everybody back at home.
It's the same workout as as the Providence Cup, but they don't do a gallop. They lengthen canter and they'll lengthen in a trot, and they'll do an extended trot across the centre.
Okay, so there you go. So we're just asking for a lengthened canter there. So we're not wanting a gallop as such. We're just wanting to see more propulsion in the movement, more power and drive from behind, but in no way, shape and form are we asking for a gallop. So this is for our Pope Cup as we watch Jess Stones and Tattinger setting the benchmark here. So remembering that it is an optional change through the centre, and this time Jess has opted to change through the walk. He's a very well-educated horse, this boy, and Jess, who rides him so often, knows him inside and out to know what he's capable of in terms of education. So we'll have a lengthen of the canter here. You can see Jess sitting down and pushing, where you can see him covering more ground, but now you can see the transition back from an extended canter to a canter, back down to the trot. Whereas the lengthen of the trot there in front of the judges. It's a lovely lengthen. And our friends in the crowd are happy with that as well. Everybody watching this combination. Our next combination out will be 186. It is Rebecca Farrow and Stage Presence, owned by Rebecca Farrow. So this particular horse was raced under the name of Persistency. This is the beauty about having our hacks out here today in relation to we get the opportunity to give them a little bit of a warm-up. A lot of these horses will be competing in the Gary Owen tomorrow, so it gets them a really good chance to work out any kinks, any bugs, before coming out here for the big one tomorrow. Bearing in mind, each and every one of these riders and or horses is chasing this class, as it's a very prestigious class to be able to be crowned the winner of. So Beck offering a flying change, showing the education once more of Percy, her number one best friend. So Beck offering a really nice extended canter there, showing the transitions coming back down. Now we'll see the lengthen of the trot in front of the judges. One, 4, 6, 4 is the next of our horses to come out and compete. SLM Mercedes for Catherine Neal. This horse raced under the name of Crosswind, side by Zabeel. In fact, this horse raced for John Simons and Sheila Laxton at one point, whom I used to ride an awful lot for. Funnily enough, I did so much riding for John Simons and Sheila Laxton. You would have thought at some point in time I might have thrown my leg over this bloke when he was racing, but unfortunately I never had the opportunity. Kath changing through the trot. So again, it was a really big class to narrow down to get this top 10, but just having a look down through the lineup in terms of names of the horses that are in here, it's not unlike the Providence Cup and what we just saw. It's a very strong field of horses out here that have been successful at all levels, having won some of the biggest and best competitions across Australia. And the next horse we welcome out is Rolex II, nominated by Michelle Laban, number 1326. This is a gelding by Bradbury's Luck. And Out of the Dam, Annunciation. The racing name of this particular horse was probably one of my favourite racing names, would you believe? The Grey Assassin. So Grey Assassin was this boy's racing name. I don't know as if he was really that successful on the track to be an assassin in the racing industry, but I'm not lucky enough to have all that information with me, unfortunately, but I'm enjoying watching him out here. He's not unlike a grey horse in which we watched last night, a very famous grey horse in Chautauqua, who most of the racing world were watching as he stood in the gates defiantly once more as he refused to jump. A horse that has been so competitive in our industry, and this bloke out here working right now is almost a dead ringer for him. So we're going to come through now and sit back and wait for that extension of the canter. The next of our horses out into the arena will be 843. This is Base, nominated from the Universal Stables in Sienna Vassapoulis, owned by Sienna also. So another horse sired by Zabil. Unfortunately, we don't have the dam. The dam is unknown, but his racing name was Base, so he's holding his racing name. So as we watch this combination out here in our workout, get a chance to speak to a few of our competitors. Jess, Tattinger always offers you a really smooth, comfortable ride.
Yeah, no, I was really happy with his workout today. He was excellent.
He's been consistent at Royal Show level all over the country, and he's continuing to do so again. What would it mean to you to win this particular class?
Oh, it would definitely mean a lot. He did win it 2 years ago and was runner-up last year. So yeah, to get a win, that would definitely be fantastic.
Well, this might nearly be an omen because SLM Valentino that we just saw out there before, he did the same. He was winner 2 years ago, runner-up last year. Maybe, fingers crossed, Jess. She said, let's hope. Fingers crossed. 843, we're still watching. The combination of Base, nominated by the Universal Stables and Sienna Vassapoulis. Oh, Becca Farrow, another lady which we'll probably see out here in our Gary Owen tomorrow. It's a great little warm-up to have our hack classes on the Saturday before the Gary Owen.
It's actually really great, and it's great to have the arena all to ourselves for this class because that is a good practice run.
It's not unlike what we'll have tomorrow.
No, I know, and hopefully we'll have this weather too. It's not too bad for riding anyway.
He's a beautifully educated horseback, and I do enjoy watching him cover the ground out there. And, you know, I'm thinking that maybe one day you might let me ride him.
Of course, Casey. Of course.
Got to ask these questions. Potentially one day. Tell us, Beck, what was he like as a racing horse? I know you've said before when you look for a horse that comes off the track, you selected him because he was a big leggy type. What was he like in the industry? How did he race? Was he successful?
He was incredibly unsuccessful, actually. He started life with Peter Moody. He was trained here in Victoria, and then Peter sacked him and he went to New South Wales. And I think he had one start up there at Scone, and that was it.
Percy, you weren't fast, buddy. Unfortunately, here we go. I'll just give to you the next of our competitors out here. They've just started now the canter aspect of this workout. It's 1906. And this is also nominated by the Universal Stables and Sienna Vassapoulis. This is High Fashion. This horse was sired by Ombra della Sierra, the Dam Flower of Koroi. The racing name was Rosy Glow. "1464 is the combination of Catherine Neal and this beautiful horse, SLM Mercedes. Nice to have you out here, Kath.
Yeah, nice to be out here on a day like today.
He's been a racing horse. Tell us about his racing career. How did you find this bloke? What were you looking for?
I was looking for something at the time with a lovely front, light across the ground, and just an evenly balanced horse. And yeah, I think he ticks all the boxes for those. But he, as a racehorse, he was pretty ordinary.
Isn't it funny how a lot of this lineup, all these horses were not the greatest of racing horses, but once we get the opportunity to get them into the show ring, we see so much more. Now, this bloke, I was saying, he's not unlike Chautauqua, who raced last night, a very stubborn grey boy. I don't think he looks as stubborn as the grey we saw last night.
Oh, he's certainly got a few quirks, but they're more silly and cute than stubborn.
Well, we'd love to see Chautauqua out here in our showing ring, but tell us about this bloke, about his racing career, and his racing name was Grey Assassin?
Yeah, his racing name was Grey Assassin. He actually had a few starts as a racehorse, but never really placed anywhere good. But he's a hard worker, so he.
How did you find him?
How did I find him? Just to ride?
Yeah, like off the track. How did you get him? How did you come to have this horse in your stable?
We saw this horse go around at his first show with the Universal Stables boys, and we've recently just taken over from them, I think, after last Nationals. So he's just amazing to ride. He's beautifully educated and just goes around, I guess.
We'll see him out here tomorrow?
Yeah.
Well, we wish him all the best in the Gary Owen out here tomorrow. I think he might be the combination of Miss Ellie Berrick. Yes, it is. I get a nod. Yes, Ellie will be riding him tomorrow. So the next of our horses in the counter workout at the moment, I'll get the number for you in just a second or two's time. "967. This is SLM Empire, nominated by Francesca Christie. This horse's racing name is Zare. Well, 843 is base. Because this is off the track class, sponsored by Racing Victoria. Of course, they offer so much incentive now for horses that have raced and been off the track. What can you tell us about this boy?
Base is owned by the Vasilopoulos family, who also raced him. He got second in the Adelaide Cup, and he was a really good racehorse, and he recently won the Pope Cup at Sydney this year, and he's a really good boy.
I tell you what, he has been a good boy. So he's quite successful on the track there too. He was a speedy horse. He's a horse that most people would have loved to have owned if he ran second in an Adelaide Cup. Good on him. 1906. Was also from the Vasilopoulos stables. High Fashion. Raced under the name of Rosy Glow. What can you tell us about this one?
She wasn't a very good racehorse. She had quite a few starts, but didn't get any money from that. But she's made us such a good show horse, and yeah, we're just really happy to have her.
As competitors out here, Racing Victoria offering such beautiful bonuses. It's great to see such a good industry in terms of the racing industry now getting behind our off-the-track horses.
Yeah, it's really good. Yeah.
Just that little bit more incentive for everybody back at home. Just unfortunately striking off on the wrong leg is number 1488, and again it's gone to do it again. Scintilla, owned by Elia Lom, nominated by the Christenvale Stables. Elia and Scintilla will be doing the Gary Owen tomorrow. Elia was once a great supporter and still is a great supporter of all things and horses off the track. So this particular gelding was signed by Shinzik, and his racing name is as it is. His showing name, it was Scintilla. $1,742 is the next of our horses out. This is Dior, nominated by Barrington and McCormick, owned by A. McCormick. Another of our Zabeel friends coming out to grace us here in our Herald Sun Arena. This racing name was Belugi. So bearing in mind the weather's actually been quite nice out here today. It is very chilly if you plan on heading into the show either tomorrow to watch the Gary Owen or even later on this afternoon to watch some more of our classes that we have on offer, especially for our champion hack later on tonight. I suggest that you bring along a jacket, perhaps a scarf and some gloves. So Steph just encouraging Dior now to extend through the canter. Coming back down now through to the trot where we'll ask for an extension of the trot. So it's not difficult to do, but it certainly keeps the rider on their toes when they're coming out of an extension of the canter and then virtually backing it straight up with an extended trot. You can keep the momentum there, but you don't want to create the horse to break in any way, shape and form, which none of our horses have done out here. 1911 is the last of our horses. I think this is Optimal. In fact, I don't think it is Optimal. Owned by Courtney McLeod and nominated as well by Matt Snell. So Optimal just getting himself a little unbalanced here, but there is reason for it. Again, something that you guys don't see at home. We have a helicopter buzzing over the top of the track at the moment, which does create that really beating of the air. So Optimal potentially might not like the noise of the helicopter over the top of the ground. Well, Steph, Dior offered you a really nice ride out there.
He did. It was a bit scary out there actually with the atmosphere being at just before lunchtime with the entertainment. So it's our third class today. He won the novice this morning, the open, but it was just a little bit fresh as we turned for the length and just hearing the noise behind him.
Well, I just explained to all of our live stream people back at home, and I think it may have had something to do with Optimal out there just when he didn't really want to get going, but there's a helicopter beating over the top of us here at the moment. It sometimes upsets the horses.
There is, and he's only a novice hack, which means he's not won at a Royal before, so he's just won this morning, but also gives us good practice for this afternoon for the champion hack. Might need a little bit more work to make him a bit tired because you never know out here what you're going to get.
Talk us through the workout. Coming from an extension of a canter, you don't have much time to line up for an extension of the trot. As a rider, you're kind of working overtime?
I suppose it depends on your horse, but luckily he loves to come back from a canter to a trot. He's very athletic, but still loves to stop cantering. So for me, it was a great workout for him.
Well, we'll let you move forward as we call all these horses through. Good luck. As Steph said, she's got a relatively novice horse, but she's been successful already today. So she's enjoying having him out here and enjoying the practice. Whilst our judges now decipher their points as to see whom will be crowned their Pope Cup winner. So it always offers a wonderful picture when we see a lot of these horses lining up in behind. And as I said, a lot of these horses competing tomorrow in our premier event here at the Royal Melbourne Show, our Gary Owen equestrian turnout for our ladies. Probably one of the most sought after events in any show rider's career, especially for our lady riders, is what we'll see out here tomorrow. And a lot of these horses that we're seeing in this particular class are entered in the Gary Owen. So we very much look forward to them back out here, and a few of these horses getting the opportunity to compete in the championship a little later on this afternoon also. But 3 different judges, all offering different aspects, different opinions. Well, she's going to hate me doing this because she loves talking to me at the best of the time. But Lauren Moore, great to have you out here representing Racing Victoria.
Yes, it's great to be here again for another year. It's so pleasing to see so many off-the-track thoroughbreds out competing. So, yes, very, very impressed.
You've been really instrumental in getting our thoroughbreds and really being a helping hand in terms of Racing Victoria, getting behind these beautiful horses that is the thoroughbreds, not only in the showing world, but across all avenues of a thoroughbred's career. It must be really pleasing to see such a quality lineup.
It always is. These riders and their owners always have their horses turned out immaculately. So, you know, it's very different to the eventing scene, but it's beautiful all the same. And we love that we can support so many different disciplines and give our horses a life after racing.
Well, that's virtually what it is. It is a life after racing, and Racing Victoria, we always thank them for coming down and being such wonderful sponsors out here for these particular classes. And as you can see, an exceptional lineup of horses in front of us here at the moment. So our judges are still deciphering their points. So Grace Forbes, of course, is a vet with Racing Victoria. She's one of our judges. Nicole Jamieson from Queensland and Richard Rice from Western Australia. Remembering that they are looking for a horse that displays exceptional thoroughbred qualities. And again, this helicopter is still buzzing around in the background. So it looks as though one of our judges has handed in his notes. I'll just double check with him and make sure that his notes are gone. Have you handed through your judges, Richard? Got rid of all your points there? You've done your judging?
Done my judging, got it over and done with. It was a pretty daunting task to be out there to pick a top 10 out of such beautiful animals. And
Being the head judge, they really threw you in the thick of things because, wow, what a class to decipher down to bringing 10. But that's a quality lineup right there in front of us.
yeah, no, it was a great opportunity to. They threw it at me about half an hour before it, and I thought, great. But no, they did it quite well. I'm very happy with the lineup, and I'm sure the other two ladies have their preferences in what they picked, so I'm happy with my decision.
Very good. Well, you very much await your decision in anticipation. As you say, there are another 2 judges in this particular class. It doesn't all rest on what Richard says, but he did have the daunting task of narrowing down a top 10. And let me tell you, it is an exceptional lineup, and he's done a brilliant job. So the crowd are building out here. as they are waiting not only to see our winner of this particular class, as it is almost a little bit like tomorrow, kind of grand final day as such for our horses and our hacks, as we have our champion hack out here later on. But they're also waiting for the lunchtime entertainment. We've got monster trucks. We've got everything that you'd like to see at a royal show. So when we have a look at this, our hacks action, when we saw them running across the ground, was require them to be spectacular. And of course, these being thoroughbreds, the canter would probably be the best of their movements, as we require them at most of the time to be galloping full steam ahead on a racetrack somewhere around the country. So our winner of this particular class, for all of you sitting at home, well, first place is $1,000, a garland and a trophy rug. Second is awarded $500 and an embroidered saddle blanket. And of course, all of our unplaced participants receive an embroidered saddle blanket supported by Racing Victoria off the track. And as we said, we spoke to Lauren Moore before. She's here representing them. So of course, each of our top 10 competitors get that, as well as a lovely RASV rosette to say that they made it into the top 10 of this prestigious class. And if I could show you on our camera, we also have in centre stage there the brilliant silver Pope Cup and that magnificent garland that one of these horses is going to take home. So in a moment or two's time, we'll be calling forth our runner-up and then our winner. Just whom will it be? So our stewards are being kept quite busy down here, running point scores from each and every one of our judges.
Patience, of course, our judges haven't declared their scores, so therefore it's taking a little time for us to make sure that they are correct. Line up out there, we'll be announcing our runner-up first, and then our winner. 2018 World Cup. Just a reminder to all of you, I know you're all here to watch our lunchtime entertainment for a little bit behind for that, but as soon as we complete our section out here, the horses will be ready. We'll be on with our lunchtime entertainment.
So on our screen at the moment, you can see a really, really good shot of our red coats working overtime here in the lineup, keeping these horses nice and relaxed and calm. It's the beauty of our red coats. They are there instrumental to our thoroughbreds out here. They're not unlike our Clerk of the Course horses at the racetrack, and it just offers a little bit of companionship for our horses. So I think remembering it must be quite close with our scoring, because here comes our ringmaster, Warren Warboys, back out to our judges. So I'm pretty sure that in any point in time, if there is a little bit of equality in terms of the points, then it relies on the head judge's decision at the end of the day to split the points up, which will be Richard Rice. So as we said, Warren Warboys working overtime out here. Well, at least in any effect, it's a good opportunity for a lot of these horses to stand here and soak up the atmosphere that it is the show. As Steph Barrington said before, there is a lot of activity going on behind the scenes. It's a hive of activity as the grandstands are full. So it's a really good chance, even though we are taking our time in bringing to you all the result of this particular class. It must be quite a close finish for some of our competitors. But nevertheless, it is a really, really good chance for our competitors to take advantage of the scenario. As the music sounds behind me, I think we have a result. So our runner-up will be called first. 407, Tattinger, runner-up. Well done, Jess. Jane R. Equestrian taking home runner-up here. So again, once more, congratulations to Jess and all the team at Jane R. Equestrian with Tattinger taking out the runner-up. Time for us to call forth our winner. Our winner, ladies and gentlemen, of the 2018 Colonel A.V. Pope Cup, 1326. It's Rolex the second. Congratulations. Well done, Michelle Laban. Winning this particular event, what a class to win indeed. This particular horse raced under the name of Grey Assassin. He's by Barradbury's Luck. Well, once more, we offer our congratulations to Michelle and all the team. As in a moment or two's time, I'll get down there and interview our winning rider. Well, as Lauren Moore and all the team sash this beautiful horse, we'll await our lovely garland, and it's going to look sensational on this striking grey horse. So in just a moment or two's time, we'll place this garland around Rolex the second's neck. And doesn't that look an absolute picture as well? Well done to all of the team involved behind the scenes. And in fact, there's always a strong team behind each and every one of these particular horses. In fact, we're probably running a little bit short of time from a live streaming's perspective. I might let these guys keep moving, as I know our entertainment for our lunchtime entertainment is anxiously awaiting. So I'm sure from all of the team behind Michelle Laban and Rolex the second, they are probably very happy to have taken home our Pope Cup. So from a live streaming's perspective, this is us, and we hope that you've enjoyed all the coverage as in a moment or two's time we'll watch these two magnificent horses leave the arena.